Good morning, all. Welcome to Objective Reality. Welcome to Objective Reality, where I currently reside and plan to reside. A place called Objective Reality, right? And it's not in England, right? This is actually the land of the living fucking dead, right? This is the land of the living dead. A country that was actually built on violence, like most places in the world, built upon centuries of colonial violence, physical violence, bloodshed, right? And everybody just go about their lives like normal, like these things are just normal, and the things that are common in the world are just normal things, right? And so we choose to carry on with the same shithound practices, right? Like everything is just normal. Welcome to Objective Reality, which is the teaching of natural law. Objective reality is the teaching of natural law and the acknowledgement that everything that we experience in life is a consequence to action, and the actions that we take today can influence or determine the consequences that we face tomorrow, right? That is the essence of natural law, cause and effect, right? So sometimes we might experience something and be like, I don't deserve this. Lord, what did I do to deserve this? Oh God, what did I do to deserve this? Right? Well, there are things that you did and there are things that you said, right? Sometimes I even say that, right? I would cry and be like, I don't deserve this, right? But I'm not dumb enough to believe, to actually believe this deep in my soul, right? Because I understand how the law of cause and effect works. I understand that certain things I would have said in the past, and you don't have to face the consequences right away. The universe delivers the consequences in the right time, right? So certain things I would have said in the past, and I'm facing the consequences now. Certain things other people say to me, and they are facing the consequences either now or either they will face it in the future, right? So this is how the law works. Similarly with practices like eating meat and serving the dark occult forces and all that is no different from all that, right? It is no different from all that, how the law of cause and effect works. So today, continuing the discussion on mind control. We are continuing the discussion on mind control, methods of mind manipulation, right? And we are examining personal lives as well as outside life on the outside of us, right? Examining personal life stories and life on the external to us, right? Methods of mind control. Deceit, right? Deceit, saying one thing and then lying and saying that you haven't said it, right? Saying one thing, lying and saying that you did not actually say it, right? That is called dishonesty and is deceit and is a transgression against the spiritual laws of the universe, right? Things like cheating and so on. Like if you're in a relationship now, I did this in the past, but I have paid daily for what I've done, right? So I am in a period now where I am actually volunteering my service here, right? To teach this nonsense to a dumb hood, right? I have paid my dues for I have paid my dues for things like cheating and all that I have done in the past, right? It's not a nice thing to do to anyone, right? I acknowledge that. I changed my behavior, right? I made the final decision to give up consuming alcohol, right? Another big change that I made in my life, right? So I did make that change before, but then I lacked the will in a particular instance, in a couple of particular instances thereafter, right? But then I made the conscious decision to stop the consumption of alcohol for good. So certain changes I have made in my life, and no, I am not training to be any Proverbs fucking wife, right? I'm not training to be any Proverbs wife like you're on YouTube trying to team and whatever, right? Because the whole institution of marriage on the whole is questionable to me, being a government contract and a religious contract in the first place. Right? Being a government and a religious contract in the first place. The whole concept of marriage is questionable to me in the first place. Right? But being unfaithful simply means not be that shouldn't even be a word, right? The word is lack of honesty, right? So if you in a relationship with someone, the honorable or the honest thing to do is to communicate. So you could have how much partners you want to have, right? Just be honest and communicate the truth, which is what I've been doing, right? Which is what I've done thereafter, after making a decision to, hey, I am going to not deceive my partner, right? Is to basically be like, hey, this is the case. I have feelings for this person. I also love you, right? Nothing is wrong with that. You could love 7 billion people on the face of this planet, right? You could love 3.5 billion men or women, right, on the face of this planet. Nothing is wrong with that. Just be honest with all of them to the fact that you love all of them, right? So dishonesty is a method of mind manipulation. Dishonesty is a method of mind manipulation, right? Is a method of mind control, mind communication, deceit, right? Saying things to people and then saying that, hey, you didn't say this, right? Doing things to intentionally trigger people in a negative way, right? Doing things to intentionally, like, knowing, hey, somebody don't like this or they won't appreciate this in a particular space, and they just do it in front of the face. Those things intentionally is methods of mind manipulation, right? Methods of mind manipulation. Now, this is done on personal levels, relationships, all types of relationships, whether it be family, whether it be friendships, whatever, romance, whatever, right? And it's also done at the governmental level, right? It's also done at the governmental level. Methods of mind manipulation, hiding particular facts, hiding particular knowledge, right? As seen with the whole COVID experience, obfuscation, right? Keeping things in hiding, keeping things in secret, right? Method of mind manipulation, deceiving the entire population, or participating in organizations that that endeavor to deceive an entire population, participating in organizations that you know are in fact deceiving the entire population because you need to make your salary, right? This is in fact one of the greatest forms of mind manipulation. You are manipulating yourself and you are allowing yourself to be manipulated, right? You are manipulating yourself and you are allowing yourself to be manipulated. Another method of manipulation in the personal realm too, and this also happens in the realm of work, in workplaces, in governments, and so on. And it has to do with trying to attack people's confidence or self-esteem, right? Trying to attack people's confidence because you know the path that they are taking and you just simply don't want it, right? You know where a person is heading and you simply do not want them to believe that they can actually do the things that they can do or achieve the things that they can do. And that is why people would be like, get some fucking ambition and be productive and do something with your life, right? That's why those kind of statements would be shouted at you, right? Because all of these things are methods of manipulation to make you believe lesser than you actually are, right? To make you believe lesser than you actually are, right? So like I was saying, those kind of statements is not something that I take lightly and not something that I would easily just forgive somebody for, right? And I am not under no obligation to forgive anybody. You know, the Bible say that, oh, you must forgive, right? But the Bible also says, as you sow, so shall you reap. The Bible also says, as you sow, so shall you reap, right? Consequence to speech, consequence to action. Consequence to speech, consequence to action. And next thing, a next matter of deceit, right, that I have made it. Now the Most High God called upon me to speak on life based on my life experiences, right, and to teach natural law practically, right, based on my experiences, right. And So said, so done. I've been doing it since last year and I am continuing to do it, right? So, another matter of deceit, right? Where people try to make you believe that you are something that you are not. Where people try to manipulate you into thinking that you are something that you are not, right? So, a few things were said to me, right? Very strange things that I don't know where these things actually came up. I'm not even talking about how it was said, right? I'm not talking about how it was said, even, right? Because you could shout and carry on how you want, right? Release your freaking emotional repression that you repressed for the past 31 years of your life, right? But the nature of the content of the things that was said, I don't know where these things come from, right? And probably go in a corner and analyze if it was actually you saying it, right? So another matter of deceit another matter of deceit that was meted out to me was being told that I live in a fantasy land. I live in a fantasy land and expecting some rich man to come and marry me when I go back in Trinidad or at some point, right? That I living in a fantasy world and in an illusion, and I am expecting some rich man to come and marry me, or that is what I want, right? Now, for somebody to actually make this statement to me about me, right, it means that you have absolutely, despite going through a big part of this journey with me, it means that you have absolutely no idea of who I am, right, and what I've stood for and fought for my entire life, right? You could sit and have a conversation with every man. Now, I've been through several relationships. You could sit and actually have a conversation with every male person on the face of this planet and ask them if I ever asked any of them for anything materially. There was one time that I actually sent an email to somebody that I care about deeply, right? And the email was based on a book I wrote, and I was like, hey, can you assist me for the sake of the work you are doing and for the sake of the work I am about to embark on, right? And it meant, hey, can you help me to sell my book to the mass of followers that you have, right? Because my book is based on healing and love and so on, right? And I asked for assistance in this manner, and this money was not for me personally. This money was not meant for me personally, right? This money was to be used to advance the cause of human freedom, right? This money, whatever little was to be generated from it, would have been to advance the cause of human freedom. Is not my personal benefit, right? I've never asked a single soul, a single partner that I've been with, and I've had opportunities. You think if I wanted to, or lived in a fantasy that I wanted to get a rich man to get married to, do you not think I would have done that already? I'll be 33 years this year. Do you not think that I would have taken that opportunity since I was probably a teenager, if my goal was to or fantasy was to get married to a rich man? Rich men volunteered, son. Rich men volunteered before I embarked on this journey. Rich men volunteered to take care of me and to mind me, right? And I passed up, forfeited, right? Forfeit means to give up, sacrifice. I gave up that opportunity so that I can embark on this healing journey and teach carnivores like you, or past carnivores like you, to transform your life, right? I forfeited, right? Sacrificed, gave up the opportunity for rich men to mind me so that I could come here and back on this journey and teach past carnivores like yourself and people who are applying to the illusionary government state, right? So that I could come and give my lifeblood in the service, my breath, my voice in the service of teaching people like yourself to stop engaging in immoral action so that you could go home back in Trinidad and teach your immoral family to do the same, right? So don't be telling me that I am living in a fantasy world. Don't be telling me that I am living in a fantasy world and waiting for a rich man to come and marry me, right? If that was the case, I would not be working hand in hand with someone who is relying on fucking donations to carry on their organization, right? Working hand in hand with people who are relying on donations to carry on their work in the advancement of human freedom, right? If I wanted to marry, if I was waiting for some rich man to come and marry me, do you think that, and I don't have to like anybody to work with them, right? I don't have to like anybody to work with them, and them don't have to like me either, right? They don't have to like me either, right? I don't have to like how they speak, they don't have to like how I speak, but the fact is that the work is being done. The fact is that the work is being done, right? And if I really wanted and was waiting for a rich man to come and marry me, trust and believe that I would have already gotten myself into that situation. I would have already gotten myself into that situation. You could ask any guy. Now, I don't have to come here and defend myself because God knows my heart. The Creator knows my heart more than anybody else. My Creator knows my heart more than anybody else knows my heart, right? And I don't have to really come here and defend. The reason why I'm bringing all this thing public is that other people can actually learn from this healing journey and learn from my journey as well, right? So other people can learn from this journey, the natural law journey, the healing journey as well, right? This journey is not for myself. I've made that abundantly clear, right? For a million times. The things that I've fought for, ending of racism, everybody being equal, equality under natural law, right? The things that I have stood for and fought for, it have nothing to do with anything regarding material wealth. It has nothing to do with anything regarding material wealth. And so for you to come and been through this journey with me and know the person who I am, it means that you don't know me, right? For you to make that statement after me revealing those aspects of myself to you, you see, we would go to flicking restaurants and I will choose the cheapest fucking shit on the flicking menu. Not because I think I don't deserve it. For Christ's sake, I think I deserve all the most beautiful things in the world, right? I actually think that, and I know that I deserve all the most beautiful things in the world. But because you have because I know that you don't have a stable job, you don't have a steady income, right? And you choosing the best of the things on the menu, but I choosing to take the cheapest fucking thing and pay for my own shit, right? And the few pounds that you spend on me, you will be reimbursed for it, right? Shit. Because the statements that you made was out of whack, it was out of control, and it was very unnecessary, right? It was untruth, most of all. It was the untruth. It was the greatest untruth, right? Because God knows my heart. I've never fought or never even asked anybody for anything material in this life. I've never even done anything for myself. Because I know the value of flicking sacrifice. I know the value of sacrifice to actually do any things that not that I want to do, right? I am willing to forfeit my dreams, my aspirations, my goals, my visions, right? So, many things, right? Poetry, romance, right? I am willing to sacrifice all these aspects of me for the sake of coming here and teaching shithounds like you, right? Coming here and teaching shithounds to actually do the right thing and to possibly come and teach the right thing, right? To do the right thing and to possibly come and teach the right thing, right? So I will not tolerate you or anybody else. That is the last of the last thing that I will tolerate, that you telling me I live in a fantasy and illusion and just waiting for some rich man to come and marry me. Method of mind manipulation, number one. Method of manipulation, another method of mind manipulation, right, is making people believe that they are who they were in the past. Meaning, I have been in several relationships in the past and I've communicated this to you, right? Throwing this back in my face and talking about how how it reflects a lack of respectability, right? Just like how you pulling 2 cigarettes is not respectable to me, right? But that's what you're doing in the present moment. That's what you are doing in the present moment. So for you to bring up my past and call me not respectable, right, in the past moment that you are doing bullshit or engaging in activities that you gave up since you was in Trinidad, right? You are calling me not respectable by being with a million different men in the past, which I have given up since we met, right? You are still engaging in activities that you said that you would have given up, right? Or you did not want to do again, right? And calling me, using my past against me. Why is it that in every fucking lifetime, dog, in every lifetime, you just had to come with the same bullshit and talking about how much man I was with? Why is it that in every lifetime, you just have to use this one thing against me? In every fucking lifetime that I find you in by, you just have to come up with the same bullshit story about how much man I spread my legs for, how much man I was with in the past, right? And knowing that I actually, since we met, I stopped engaging in that activity, right? But in every lifetime, you just had to fucking throw my past back in my face, right? Throw my past back in my face. Well, cheers to you. Fuck that, and fuck everybody, and fuck you, right? Because this is like the last straw. It is the game over, right? It is no going back after this. It is game over. Because just like how being with a million different men that not harming anybody, essentially, just like pulling 2 of your cigarettes, as you stated yesterday, that not causing no harm to anybody, right? That's not causing no harm to anybody. So me being with 100 men, if I'm honest with them all, which I'm doing here, right now, right? Which I'm doing here, right now. If I'm honest with 100 of them, it means that I'm not doing anything wrong.